Inspirational, visionary, ruthless. Much has been said and written about microTech founder Magnus Tobin, who was the driving force behind the Empire's most essential piece of wearable tech, Moby-Glass. Broadly perceived as a reclusive tech genius, Magnus's fascinating life defies such easy categorization. Magnus Tobin was born on Earth in 2756. His parents devoted their time to running a prosperous textile manufacturing business and left the rearing of their three sons, Fikri, Magnus and Cameron, to au pairs. Magnus's eldest brother, Fikri, was a formative influence who taught him how to hack high-end electronics. Magnus's technological obsession led to his elite private high school expelling him for poor grades and attendance. Instead of enrolling in a new school, Magnus convinced his parents to let him work full-time for the family business while studying for the equivalency. Free from school, Magnus passed his equivalency at an extraordinary pace after bypassing the daily lesson limits and creating his own algorithm to analyse trends in past exams. Meanwhile, Magnus spent his days working in the information technology department of his family's company. He learned all he could about its operation before presenting his parents with a comprehensive plan to overhaul and update its technical infrastructure. Impressed with his vision, his parents signed off on the plan and assigned Alina Tressler, a trusted senior advisor, to officially oversee it. The project improved efficiency and generated massive profits for the company. Magnus became the heir apparent to the family business, but shocked his parents by rejecting the role. Instead, he convinced them to fund a small technology startup that sold a modified version of his business software. microTech officially incorporated in 2782, but struggled to turn a profit. Eventually, he asked former mentor Alina Tressler to join the company and offered her a percentage of the profits. Her extensive list of contacts and cutthroat business acumen bought the growing microTech more orders for custom software than they could handle. An enviable position to be in, as the overthrow of the Messer regime in 2792 sent shockwaves through the Empire's economy. Magnus felt fortunate that microTech survived the economic upheaval, but Alina argued that the company could only succeed long-term if it diversified. Magnus went on a hiring spree, courting numerous notable engineers and developers by guaranteeing them autonomy over their projects. He also believed that the next great idea could come from anyone within the company. He organised hackathons to identify new talent and kept 1 week clear in his schedule every quarter so anyone in the company could pitch him their idea. Even today, microTech remains renowned for nurturing and developing good ideas from any of its employees. Meanwhile, Alina led an initiative to buy struggling businesses with intriguing intellectual property. Industry observers deemed their combined spending as reckless, but the talent and technology microTech acquired eventually led to many of their signature products. The only company Magnus insisted on purchasing was Empiric Education. An intense bidding war soured Alina on the company, but it became their most important purchase. microTech now owned a major producer of education software, and Magnus had big plans for it. After the purchase of Empiric Education, Magnus revealed an upgrade that significantly streamlined the code and enhanced its security. He had been developing it since hacking his own equivalency prep in his youth, but knew he needed to own the underlying code to monetize it. Beyond the surface-level improvements, he had also included additional background software meant to securely manage every detail of a student's life to increase their productivity. Alina noticed that early adopters used these software features well beyond studying and saw the promise in it. She encouraged Magnus to develop it as standalone software. The initial Glass software was a hit and quickly became one of the top productivity software on the market. However, to fully and comfortably utilise all the features, users needed to bounce between their datapads and wearable comps, often necessitating carrying both with them. Year after year, Magnus and his team tried to improve the existing available interface, but the most popular devices of the time were limited by their screen size, and anything larger might as well have been a datapad. The breakthrough came when Magnus climbed into a SIM pod only for it to malfunction and project a small screen in front of his face. Now he knew what he had to do: call his siblings. Magnus contacted Cameron, his younger brother and current CEO of the family business, and worked with him on designing and sourcing the right materials for a wrist-wearable device. If Glass was really going to succeed, Magnus knew that microTech was going to have to begin building their own hardware, with Glass transitioning into a full-blown operating system. Meanwhile, he hired his older brother, Fikri, to try and hack his software, trusting no one but him to test its security. Alina believed it to be out of family loyalty, but later claimed that Magnus confided in her Fikri's extensive credentials, including playing an instrumental role in the hack that broadcast shocking images of the massacre of Garon to their system and helped topple the messes. Simply, Magnus understood the importance of security on a device meant to manage someone's entire life. The wearables market was saturated with products plagued by security concerns. Following the fall of the messes, it was revealed that wearable manufacturers were forced to build a backdoor into their devices so the government could access their network. Even years later, this drove some consumers not to use wearables due to ethical concerns, while others questioned whether these backdoors were ever closed. Magnus hammered home this point in the Mobiglass's first ad campaign, which featured a pixelated figure hacking every wearable on the market, only to be stifled by the Mobiglass. The effective ad, combined with the device's intuitive interface and competitive price point, made the Mobiglass an instant success upon release in 2018. Its popularity only increased over the years until it became the ubiquitous wearable worn across the Empire today. Alina retired after the successful Mobiglass release, but Magnus continued to employ her aggressive business strategy, sometimes in ways that observers deemed dangerous or unethical. He poured profits into developing a wide range of new devices, including a revolutionary new SIM-pod design and a line of ship computers. He even bought massive swaths of cheap real estate in extremely cold biomes across the Empire to park the ever-growing army of microTech servers. When microTech quietly began selling this land, industry observers believed it signalled a corporate shift away from server management. Instead, Magnus used the capital for his biggest and boldest deal to date, the purchase of Stanton 4. Magnus officially retired following microTech's purchase of Stanton 4, but to the dismay of some, remained deeply involved in the company's operations. He oversaw the design and construction of New Babbage, microTech's primary landing zone, and was even given veto power over any new device or corporate initiative that he believed didn't align with the company's core values. After decades of being hailed as a visionary, his increased stranglehold on the company was beginning to tarnish his image. A series of high-level leaks revealed just how unhappy employees were with his continued involvement, and that several key decisions he had recently made had cost the company millions. In response, Magnus went on a media blitz to whitewash his image, even hiring a ghostwriter to pen a fawning autobiography. The campaign painted Magnus as a tech-focused force within the company that existed above the questionable business practices. This led to the sterile image of him as a reclusive tech genius that persists to this day. When Magnus Tobin died in 2912, people hailed him as one of the most important figures of the 29th century. Despite his undeniable influence on technology, his greatest achievement may be creating a company that has thrived without him. microTech's ownership of a planet, ever-expanding product line, and constant quality of life updates to the Mobiglass has the company well positioned to be just as influential in the next century as it was in the last.
Every month we have a ship giveaway, and February is no different. This month is for a Mercury Star Runner. It's a multi-role ship, but also a solid data and cargo runner, and flyable now in-game. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during a month. Details below. I'm also a massive shill for NordVPN. If you are looking for a VPN service, and you should, then NordVPN acts as a fleet of ships protecting your data from prying eyes while also providing privacy like a ship would. Enjoy the interwebs without borders, securely and safely. Use the links below for discount. I can't promise it will make your life better, but I can imply that. Also, there is Game Glass. Do you have a touchscreen device that you want to use as a diegetic controller or interactive panel for Star Citizen and other games? Check out Game Glass. It's free for life for the basic version, and you can buy additional shards or functionality or subscribe for more as well. A special thank you for everyone that goes the extra mile to become a channel member or Patreon, as well as just liking and subscribing or sharing these videos. If you would like to further support the channel, then please consider using the YouTube join button below my videos and becoming a BoredGamer channel member. You'll get some exclusive content each month, as well as badges that appear in the comments section of videos and emotes that you can use and all that sort of jazz. Thank you so much for checking out my content. You take care, and I hope to see you in the verse.